Huh. Okay, hold on. That's okay. Do I have the settings on low? Hold 1 second. I'm just going to. Can I pause it? And there we go. We're better. Ugh. Okay. Boy, do I have a tale to tell you guys. Ugh. I'm so exhausted. Let's see. Like, after my big rainstorm, long story short, after a big rainstorm, my internet's been shit for the last, like, maybe week or so, and I haven't been able to do anything. Like, anything. Um, like, it was worse than, hey, May, it was, like, worse than when I first moved in. Um, and so I'm just like, I'm on the phone, like, I'm resetting the router 100 million times. I'm trying to get some technical support. They say they're going to have to send someone out. And I say, no, I don't want that because that's going to be $100 just to have someone poke around. Finally, I get, and I just get a flash of inspiration. I'm like, can I just take my modem down to the actual Cox store and have them test it out instead of having someone here? And then I'm on with like 3 or 4 different people on chat on the phone. And they're like, oh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. And then finally I get to someone and they said, yeah, you could totally do that. There's absolutely no reason you couldn't go down and have them test your equipment. It's like, oh, thank God. So I just mustered up the last little bit of my stressed outness and then just went down there. And the guy stares at my 12-year-old modem like it's a fossil. Like, honestly, he was flabbergasted. It's like if um I'm trying to think of the YouTuber's name, Minuteman, that guy. If I just I had like a saber tooth skull in my hand. He's all like, "Why are you've got plenty of updates. Your grandmother's had this account for 27 years and she's not updated hardly any of her equipment." So he hands me a brand new modem. I get home and it's like it's churning out like 50 at max and like a 27 at its slowest, which is double my regular speed. So that's nice. So now I can probably play games in high definition and shit. Anyway, so I'm just kind of like, it's been 4 days. That's been on my mind for like, that's just basically been like on my mind for most of it. Like, ah, crap, I gotta fix that. Um, and just other things. Got a spam? Nope. Okay, no, I'm just checking my phone. Yeah, it's really good that I got a new one. And he says, well, with the new device, your bill will go up in about maybe 3 years. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's fine. How much? He's just like $10. And he's all like, oh, okay. I'm like, sure, fine, whatever. I'm not even sure if I'm going to be living here in 3 years. So let's just roll that dice. I'm pretty good. Damn it. I haven't even started the stream. The drawing part. There. Now we got to skip over a bunch of stuff. There, I made a circle. Anyway, today we're just going to be drawing Clair from Pokemon. I have no idea why I decided to just start drawing. I just was picking like random characters. Like, and I was just like, okay, just pick someone. And I was like, oh, okay, that's a cool Pokemon character who appears to be over 14. And then I was like, yeah, sure, I'll draw her. And when did you see? I tried some Tim Hortons and got some coffee there. They have a thing now where you can try and win prizes by getting coffee. Ooh, nice. Anyway, hello, Alter. Hello, Amalina. Uh, I even I tried to stream. I was like, I tested out my equipment, and I was like, I wonder if I could just stream wirelessly. And I came out here and I turned everything on, got the Wi-Fi adapter on my computer, and it was pretty good, but it would tip and it would dip a lot. Like, you know how Wi-Fi does, and it's that old. If you're gonna game and you're gonna play with other people, then just get a connection. And so, sure enough, I ran the wires out here and just started set up. Over the weekend, while playing Miles Morales, I decided to swing by Doc Ock's old building. Ah. Anyway, how are you doing in that game? Doing pretty good? I actually like Miles Morales more than I like the other Spider-Man. But mainly because it has a condensed story. All the side options are really good, and I don't know. It just didn't have that DLC, man. That really just took the wind out of what was like a really really good story. I don't care for like Hammerhead or uh, or Sable stuff most of the time, so it's just like kind of eh. I'm glad Sable didn't show up. I was kind of waiting for that shoe to drop in Miles Morales. I'm glad it was an entirely different sort of douchebag organization. Let's see. Ooh, Anime Con. Cool. I guess that's going around. I guess spring is the time for it. We have one. Oh man, I'm so tired. We have one that is in summer. Phoenix. It's just called Phoenix Con, I guess is what it is. I went once, and I think it's only gotten bigger since then. So it's late May. Okay, yeah, summer. That totally makes sense. I know Kansas City had a convention going because I saw an artist that I follow. He was doing it. He was up there in Hutzlin. Oh, okay, now what am I going to do? What am I going to do over here? My deal. Where's my mouse? Over here. There we go. Do I have anything that I'm working on? I just set up and I was just like, you know what? I'm going to just do this. I'm just going to totally get set up and draw out here. But a problem is I don't really have anything that or I don't have my references in front of me. I don't have, so I'm just gonna have to wing it a little bit. Or though, what the hell is this? Okay, okay. Hey, Robbie. Hey, Drake. Oh, nope. Can't open. File corrupted. Okay, wonderful. I'm working off of an old drive of mine. Gotta be something here I can use. Okay, well, I'll just hang out with you guys. Oh, I'm so tired. I've been so stressed out with that. Ooh, a nightmare invasion. Okay, that's pretty cool. Okay, I'll look at Nemus the Sandman. Hello, Glim. How you doing? Ugh, all the warriors are out today. Yeah, well, it's just like one of those things. It's like, oh God, like my sunken cost fallacy. I've put so much into like the streaming equipment and then setting up where I can just I want to try and stream and draw and do all that stuff, and it's just like, well, maybe that's screwed up. Maybe it's your line. Who knows? I don't. I was trying to do the process of elimination where I was like, well, is it my cable? Did it happen after the rain? And it kind of did, but it also like it was in conjunction with Cox saying like I got all these alarms saying, "Oh, well, we're working on the connection in your area. We're doing it to like update our services." And then it just would go up and down, and I was like, "Ah, shit. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna see what I got." But anyway, turned out it was for the best because we are now pretty rock solid. Especially since I'm only like using 6,000 megabits, and I've got like 30 I could play with. But this is fine. This is enough to make it like decent quality for the stream. Oh shoot! What the hell am I doing? I with my good internet now I can just look up whatever references I want. Let's see. Um. Hey, Underwolf, how's it going? Um. What should I do? That time for iterations and best elements from the one. Getting back into designing characters. Very nice. Very good. And so anyway, I was just like, I'll just pick a random character. This Clair. Again, not from my sort of generation of Pokemon. Oh, okay, got to open up the reference thing. Yeah, well, it was just it. This is like literally. I think what happened is I was done coloring Beb. I was done coloring Rachel Bighead, and I was like, okay, well, I've only got like an hour worth of footage, so I'm going to start drawing something else. And I just chose this by random, chose a couple references, and then popped it in, and just started drawing. And then I like got an hour of that footage just drawing the sketch. And so the next hour was dedicated to inking and coloring her. So that was just one thing. Did I ever get Clam O'Neill? I know it's past St. Patrick's Day, but okay, O'Connell, Clan O'Connell. I'll look into that. Yeah, Monday. We had our corned beef on Monday because that was the only day I thought my mom could get off. Or rather, that's the one day that I thought she wanted to spend with us, and that would give her Friday free. What ended up happening is that she ended up, Grandma complains about her eyeglasses, um, and so she schedules an appointment to have her glasses looked at and then Grandma's glasses looked at. They both get eye exams, and then she comes over Friday anyway. And I ended up making a pork loin. So the best laid plans. Ooh, coffee. Oh, I should get a cup. Do I have my... Where's my soda? Got more soda sitting right here, but I don't want to open it up. I'll just drink a water. Speaking of Rachel Bighead, I still in the hand cannon because that's possible. That's totally possible, Robbie. Um, beautiful. Okay, let's see now. Boo, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Let's see. Okay, here. And of course, I exaggerated her figure a little bit, but only by a little bit. I was looking up footage of like, okay, anime and then gameplay footage. And then there's this one where it's her, I guess, Game Boy Advanced, whatever she showed up in, and they they gave her a little bit of cake when she flips her cape. Let's see now. Just one. One full screen reference. That's all I'm looking for. Okay, right there. Clair from the Pokemon franchise, the Dragon Trainer. Which who is the original? Okay, she's the Dragon Gym leader. Lance was the Dragon Big Four. What do they call them? The Final Four? The Furious Four? The I don't know, the ones you have to beat in order to actually. Is there some social media where we can find you, or are we fine with discussing it in live streams? Live streams is fine. I have a Twitter at rblueboy777, or is it like Crockett? CR. The name on the thing is CR, but I think it's like rblueboy777. Uh-huh. The Elite Four. Okay, there we go. Sorry, again, my brain is mush. Mm. That's a shortcut that I don't need. There we go. The Elite Four. Gosh, I gotta get into a new Pokemon game. Let's see. I don't need that. I want this one, and I want this one. There we go. Come on. So yeah, she's the gym leader in I forget what. I don't know. I haven't played past Crystal. And I don't even think I ever beat Crystal. I think I got super close to it though. I just kind of lost interest. That is not what I want. Beautiful. Oh, by the way, can you guys hear the music? No, there's no music being played into. Okay, here we go. Yep. Ah, curse you. Huh. Also, something's weird is happening with my computer. Uh, hey, Michael. My virtual voice line that I use to pump music into like OBS and also gameplay footage into OBS or gameplay sounds is always disabled whenever I load up my computer. So I don't know what's going on with that, but now you should be able to hear some. She wasn't the Dragon Gym leader. Yeah, she was the Dragon Gym leader. That's what I was saying. And then Lance was the Elite Four member. It was all about them dragons. Now, what Agatha, Bruno was the fighting one because there was no fighting gym leader. Basically, the Elite Four were all the non-existent gym leaders. There was Bruno. There was Agatha. Or was it Hagatha? I think it was Agatha. And she was the ghost. She was the ghost trainer. And then you have Bruno, the fighting. And then you have the Ice Lady. She showed up in Pokemon, the animated series. And she was like... She had glasses and... super hot. Not the nurse or whatever that Brock ended up falling in love with. Okay. Oh, Laura. Okay. Lorelei is the Ice Elite. Okay. Right on. Far away. Okay. Got my new pin, got my new modem. All working out okay. My car passed emissions, which is always something that I don't have to worry about for another 2 years, but I always kind of do. Just need to keep on rolling. Oh, what's that song? This song's become sort of my theme. It's from, and it's criminally underrated. So if you guys can, oh, here, I'll just just find it and then post it in the thing. Let me turn the sound off. Sound. There we go. Muted. That should have done it. No. Okay. There. Yeah. Okay. And then that way it won't play through the speakers. Live. Okay, the cog is dead. Here. There you go. This is a song that just kind of keeps me going whenever I kind of get weirded out. And you should actually just look at these guys. The cog is dead. They do good, like, weird covers and just like they're really good. It's alright, that's okay. Don't you live to fight another day? Use a little grease, don't you ever cease to keep the moves moving in the proper way. There. Gen 3 of Pokemon was great. It's where I stopped until Gen 8. You know what? I still don't know. I've just never. I think it was the second gen that I kind of stopped, and I think that's just because I was getting into other things. I mean, I was still watching Pokemon, still interested in it. I just wasn't interested in the games because, damn. Also, when you have a hobby like that, it's a real cost sink. Where are we? Ah, her boots. Okay, very good. And I'm not even going to criticize Pokemon for just like having weird designs. I mean, they eventually got to the point where I was like, oh, okay, that's strange. But this, like Gen, maybe up to Gen 5, they were pretty much kind of normalish to a point. And then at some point, they started looking like robots. But I think that was just the style at the time. What was a huge disappointment about Gen 8? Oh, I saw Pikachu on some pizzas at Walmart. Like actual like Walmart brand pizzas. I was like, "Oh." And I literally just said, "Oh, Pikachu." And I was like, "Wow, Pikachu has been along like maybe like it's they've been around for like maybe what 30 years now. I caught on relatively late in middle school to the craze. But yeah, that's about right. I was just it would almost be like saying, "Oh, there's just Mickey Mouse." The sort of realization that just Pikachu's just become and Pokemon has just become that common now. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, YouTube decides to like throw Yokai Watch at me. The weird dub where they sound like they're from the farm. At least those two, the two characters, the ones with the weird eyebrows, the weird fiery eyebrows. No, no, it wasn't a Pikachu shaped pizza. It was just, uh, it was just like Walmart's pizza, like their brand of pizza, their take home and bake pizza, but it just had Pikachu on it. I was like, well, what's the deal? Is it just like, is it promoting something? As far as I can tell, it was just Pikachu. It's probably promoting the new game, of course. See, I want to put okay, right there. Yeah, perfect. Pardon me for my the trading. Well, actually, when you say that, yes, that was the cost sink, was the trading card game. It even got, it was so dumb. I was so stupid as a kid. I even went to like flea markets and started collecting the Japanese ones. Before I was like, oh my gosh, there's other Pokemon cards? And I was so stupid. I was like, there's no way they're going to bring these over, like, or translate it, because I had no idea how the freaking market worked. If I just waited, waited 6 months, they would have been available here. I mean, I didn't collect all of them, but I, maybe, 2 or 3 packs of the Japanese ones, which were dumb. Stupid thing to do. What was I gonna say? Yeah, I was gonna ask, do you wonder if they do the whole thing where, I mean, at this point, Pokemon is a success. Do you think they also, like, when they launch the Pokemon cards in Japan, do you think they also launch them here? Or just like, oh, well, we're just going to prepare for both the Japanese and the American market and just have them both released at the same time? Or do you think they still, like, have this whole, like, waiting process? Because, you know, the world's getting smaller. Oh. I don't know. I haven't checked out what the market is for stuff like that in a while. And again, the last thing of Pokemon that I started collecting, or when I stopped collecting, was a 3-star Kabuto that could be played without any evolution. It was just like, it was a basic Pokemon, but it was like its fully evolved version. So I was like, okay, this is a pretty boss card. And I think I'm just going to leave it at that. You could literally hear Carry On My Wayward Son, like Kansas was playing in my head when I got that card. And I was like, okay, this is done. Because at a certain point, I think it becomes obligation, and then like that's the only time I've ever like when I hear like, oh, you have to watch the movie out of obligation, you have to collect the comics out of obligation, and I never like really, I've never really liked that saying, but I think that's the one time in my life where I really felt it. It was like, I'm not getting anything out of it. Just screw it. Let's just shut it down. Okay, they release a few sets in Japan, which are easily collected via the internet. Then they put those together, and that's the English release. Oh. Okay, okay. So our sets are like maybe 2 or 3 versions of their sets. Okay, okay. Now I got Kansas stuck in my head. Carry on my wayward son. Every piece of you I've done. You're weary to rest. Don't you cry no more. I can't think of a single other Kansas song. I should probably look into that and see if they're actually, you know, good. There's bound to be other Kansas songs I've heard of. Let's see. Let me look that up. I'll take a break from drawing, and I will take a look. We will see what songs Kansas has made. Because now I'm just curious. Hello, worms. How's it going? Okay, let's see. What do I have over here working on this? Okay, that's fine. Just okay, Dust in the Wind, of course. Of course, that's literally what got Socrates to go into the phone booth. Okay, let's see. Melancholy rock, wouldn't you agree? Like that would be a good description for Kansas. Kansas discography. I forgot that's what you call a band. Discography. Oh wow, 1974. Okay. Hit me. Oh god, they look old. And one's got an eye patch? Cool. Let's see. Can I tell you? Lonely Wind, Song for America. It takes a woman's love to make a man. That's Carry On My Wayward Son. Okay, that's the song on this album. Oh, these are their singles. But that's the song that kind of pushed them. What's on My Mind? Don't remember that one. Point of No Return. But no is as a point of no, as in like I know that. Dust in the Wind. There, thank you. People of the South Wind. Yeah, I was gonna say melancholy rock. Like a rock that this is the song that that ends the night. Oh shit, they just released an album in not an album, but singles in 2021. My favorite band is Blue Oyster Cult. And that just reminded me that they released a song called Florida Man. Like maybe 2 years ago? 4 years ago, I think? I don't know. But it slaps too. And it starts off with Florida Man being weird and everything. And then kind of drifts into that whole they're kind of mythos idea where the reason why Florida Man is so crazy, he's been cursed by the native people that when the conquistadors came to the land and just kind of cursed the people there to be insane. That sort of almost Imaginos, Don't Fear the Reaper, Harvest Moon, that kind of H.P. Lovecraft kind of vibes. Only without the excessive racism, I like to think. It's a little racist to imply that there's a Native American curse. But don't you wish there were one sometimes? Just sometimes. Yeah, we would deserve it. I think the only Blue Oyster Cult song I know is Don't Fear the Reaper. Do yourself a favor. Look up I Love the Night. That would be a really good one to wean you into sort of their more out there stuff. Now, that thing is about... Imaginos is just straight up like a Cthulhu myth. It's it's a rock opera about a guy who's talks to interdimensional beings and stuff like that. I Love the Night can be a double reference to a guy falling in love with a vampire or a ghost in the woods, or it could be a metaphor for cocaine. Either way, check that out. Harvest Moon, definitely a creepy one. That's my favorite song of theirs to play at Halloween. Let's see, and then every all of Imaginos. Just find Imaginos and just listen to it. And then you'll revisit your favorites. I always revisit the Siege of Castle Frankenstein, and Another World is great. And that was their last one, and it was the first one of that was supposed to be of a trilogy of albums that were supposed to explore this weird mythology that they were creating. And of course, Dance in the Ruins. You don't have to know anything about that. It's just kind of like, again, it's kind of like that melancholy. It's not as like, it's almost, how can I put this? It's like defiantly melancholy, where Kansas is just like, there'll be peace when you're done, and dust in the wind. It's like, oh, contemplating your existence, and then what happens at the end. It's like this one's like you're dancing in the ruins, which is kind of a way of saying like, okay, well, there were people that came before you, and there'll be people that come after you, but you can just, I don't know, still party while you can. Have I ever seen? Oh yeah, I've seen all that. I had the tape of Tiny Toons where they would the music video, sort of the MTV parodies and the music video parodies that you're talking about, Worms. That had the infamous Julie Brune segment. Who was the prototype for Minerva Mink. Sorta. Same voice actress. Minerva Mink's not... Like, she's not... She doesn't seem interested in anything. Julie Brune was like an 80s girl, which was a bit off of Julie Brown, I think is her name. She's on Twitter. She's great. Nope, don't want that. And they got away with it because that was like the first thing that they were showing of Tiny Toons. That was like Tiny Toons and I think Batman were like the only two that they were showing. And they were on a brand new network, so who the hell cares? I think it was like the philosophy of we might not even be here by 10 years down the line. I think like the CW, like that was out of left field for me. I was like, okay, they've got a brand new channel. It's connected to the WB, which is like this huge movie studio. There's no way it's gone. It's gone after like 20 years, right? Like, the only thing keeping that thing afloat was, I guess, Buffy and Angel or whatever. Same thing with UPN, too. I'm guessing they never had her back after that. Yeah, they did. They did. She was on Animaniacs, had at least 2 episodes, or 2 shorts to her name, and then was, like, peppered in everywhere they could stick her in guest spots. As long as she was, like, there for, like, maybe under a minute, they were fine with her. There was an... Yeah, by, They Might Be Giants. Like, They Might Be Giants, I forget. I think they must have had a deal with Warner Brothers. So that was like the most contemporary songs that they had at the time in those in the actual cartoons, because you got Aretha Franklin with Respect, and I think there was like a Nutcracker Suite parody with Plucky and the video games, and the Name song with did Elmira do that? Was it Elmira or was it Mary Melanie? Huh. Yeah, I think it was Elmira who sang that song. They both have the same voice actress. But, like, Elmira always got the I think Mary Melanie only had, like, one short to her name, and that's one where she adopted Furball. So anyway, I think what had happened is that They Might Be Giants had just had a deal with Warner Brothers, and that's when they like included their music in those cartoons. Also, that just reminded me like maybe about like just like 10 years earlier, and you had like, what was it? Kid Video. Remember Kid Video? They would have like Electric Avenue, and then you'd have all these weird covers of like the Chipmunks would do all the weird covers of like Bad to the Bone. And you know, somewhat contemporary newer songs. And then just like 10 years later it was all about, nope. I didn't think I would hear like licensed music until like maybe the regular show. Where it was just like regular show, they would just get like licensed music from like, I was like, oh, that song. And it's like, wait, no, that song is like 25 years of old. Of course they could get that song. It's probably also in the Warner Brothers library. And you just like feel like oh, that's it's like, wow, they bought the rights to that song. It's like, no, it's 25 years old. It'll show up in like a tampon commercial 2 years from now. It'll be that cheap. Don't get excited, old man. Yeah. Well, that was probably all the creator. Which, by the way, I'm still kind of bummed that Close Enough got canceled. Yeah, it was a really good show. It was a good show. Speaking of dated. Oh shit, Mau Mau. There was who was it, JQ or QJ? I forget who was doing. But there's news. They check the ratings on Max, and Steven Universe is like still pulling in the numbers. And they're like saying, well, I mean, if we can get other people to watch like Mau Mau and OKKO and all the things that were killed, because can you imagine this is such a weird statement, but on the eve of Trump's arrest, isn't like one of the weirdest things of the weirdest byproducts of his presidency was that he held up he held up the Warner Brothers merger with Discovery, and that killed like a shit ton of shows. Like I'm not a fan of like I'm not a fan of monopolies and all that shit. But he like strung them along so long that the bunch of deals just fell through. I mean, and then there's the rampant corruption and rampant corruption, the pandemic, all that stuff. But still, like, if Hillary Clinton became president, we could have all enjoyed like maybe the 5th season of Mau Mau by now. Yeah, it's pretty true. Well, if it's any consolation, I pirated Velma. I mean, I had a loose commitment to capitalism with Velma, which is why. Let's see. Come on, come on. Hold this together. This around. I don't watch enough TV to justify buying streaming, so I just watch a show. It's yo ho yo ho. Yep. I'd rather not give any support to the bad media when they use the time to absorb good media or God media. Same difference. If you want to hate watch Velma, just normal watch Daria instead. Yeah. Got news. That city, aka UK long-standing... Oh, that city is getting axed in autumn. That city... Got news. That city, as... What's the show's name? Is it called just That City, or is it just City? 40 years of being on the air. Shit. Well, that's probably also their shithead conservatives. Like putting the axe on things. Their TV tax bullshit. Oh, yeah, if I haven't told you yet, go look up Fact Fiend. He's pretty good. He's just like I would almost call him a YouTube generalist. He just likes talking about all sorts of like weird facts and tidbits. But he is extremely British, so that's fun. Yeah, it is Duck Shoes. I was gonna say, for something to be going on for 40 years, like what's the closest run? I know that they just ended Arthur. And that thing went on maybe like 5 seasons after they changed the art style, which is sort of not. I'm not gonna front. I stopped watching that way before then, but still, I remember Arthur being like really cool. It's a channel known as CITV. Oh, CITV. Oh, they're moving everything. Well, that's not bad. If they move it to streaming, that's fine. But if they're like canceling the whole show. Oh crap! What did I hit? Okay, there. Yeah, what did they do? What was what was the thing with Cartoon Network? Like maybe about a year ago, they like closed down a bunch of they like closed down a bunch of networks that they had all over the world, like Cartoon Network Bangladesh just like shut down and Cartoon Network Africa and all that stuff. Stopped watching Arthur around high school. I watched Arthur into college. I don't care. It was cool. Wait, I couldn't have been in college. Maybe it was high school. No, because I distinctly remember watching the Arthur Makes Waves episode, and then the ones with the ghost. Yeah, I must have been like first year of college. Teletoons? Is Teletoons? Oh, Teletoons is the one that shut down too. That's right. That's right. Shit, that sucks. Where am I gonna go for Nerds vs. Monsters? In Freaktown. Who needs Adventure Time when you've got Freaktown? Here, let me show you what I'm talking about. God, this internet's so fast. This would have taken me forever. Okay, Oh, and I just got a new... Or YouTube wants me to look at... Yeah, like Freaktown opening. Come on, where is it? Here we go. It's actually got a bop of a theme song, but you can totally tell they were like, "Oh, we should do something like Adventure Time." It reminds me of a mixture of Adventure Time and what's that one Adventure Time and that one like it was the hero clicks, but they were all gross monsters. I have a bunch. I have a bunch in storage. Yeah, they were like monster, like gross hero clicks, like like a cat jumping out of a sandbox and always surprised me. They did an Arthur riff on South Park, Dexter's Lab, and Beavis and Butthead. The Beavis and Butthead and the South Park is a little weird, but Dexter's Lab, like Dexter's Lab doesn't fit in with that. I mean, it could. It was like a lot more violent back then, but like, you know, Dexter's Lab is a kid's show. South Park was fine. Kids were like watching South Park anyway. And I don't know anyone that was watching Beavis and Butthead. That was maybe about 10 years. No, let's be generous. 6 years too late for Beavis and Butthead. Oh yeah, yeah. But they did like a whole Downtown Abbey episode, and they did who was it? Molly. Molly was constantly like doing Sherlock Holmes stuff, which I think, or was it not Sherlock Holmes? It was Purdue, or the one with the like Christina. Hmm. Anyway, the guy with the mustache. Oh, come on, don't do that. No, no, no. Okay. Pardon me. Let's see. I don't think they had a South Park parody. I mean, a King of the Hill parody. And what were they all doing? They were trying to like enter a TV show, a kids show. So they basically just like copied what they were watching on TV anyway. Wouldn't be surprised if they did. CNUK showed something called Wish Fart for about a year, and then it was taken off. Got to admit, it was way better than it had any right to be. With the name Wish Fart. I think I've seen that around. I got Wishbone. That's the first thing that popped up on Google. And then Wish Farm, which I don't know what it is. Okay, Wish Fart, the animated series. Oh, I have seen this. There's like a weird ghost girl and a a, a penguin, a rock hopper, and you've got the Adventures of Dez, a rookie leprechaun. Okay, so he's a rookie leprechaun, and he's got like Akiko, of course, her name's Akiko, and then Puffin. So he must be a Puffin penguin. Variety of escapades, contents, and wishes gone out of control. Okay. And then you have the day my butt went psycho. Awesome Beagle and okay, I know Camp Lake Bottom. And the Braceface? Oh, I guess that was Canadian, huh? Zuzu's, of course. Sidekick. They would run Sidekick on Cartoon Network. That was cool. And then you've got Groge Band. I guess that was called Garage Band. Camp Lake Bottom I've seen before. Total Drama. Rama. Garbage. George of the Jungle, of course, was Canadian because they probably got a license to like produce that. Angela Anaconda. Yeah. He's a puffin. Okay, yeah, I read that. Right, rockhoppers, they have the weird, like, eyebrows, right? Wait, are puffins penguins? Okay, hold on, now I gotta look that up. Are penguins? Thank you, Google. Not exactly. It literally said that underneath the thing. Mistaken identities. Puffins versus penguins. Okay. Well, let's see. Puffins and penguins are on different branches of the family tree. Puffins are in the family Alcida and are known as alcids. Penguins are in the family Cephasidia. In addition, Atlantic penguins and 2 other species can be found in sea cliff. Okay, so they are different. Okay, so that's weird. Okay, yeah, okay, I can totally see it now. That's stupid. When it's not stylized, it totally looks like a completely different animal. Okay. But to be honest, the way they drew him made him look really like a penguin. Okay. A little bit of trouble here, but this is fine. Beautiful. Put that stuff in. Trying to think about what to do tonight now that I got this shit set up. Oh shoot! Let me see. Let me see something. I forgot to check on my phone. See what the connection is on that. Like if I connect my phone via Wi-Fi to act like a microphone now, I wonder if it like would actually carry. Did I know who Claire was before drawing her? I knew she was a Pokemon girl. I didn't know what her deal was. And her deal is that she has a temperamental Dragonite? Dragonite? Dratini? Dragonair? Dragonite. Yep, the big one. The one that totally doesn't look like it should be part of that evolution. Indeed, Duck Shoes, indeed. Yeah, again, they made her like thick in the video game. She's got like a cape and she just like whips it off and just like, hey. I'm gonna have to get some coffee after this. Let's see, how do I test speed? Oh, I guess it's the same thing. Just go to speed test. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's just like, well, let's not go too far, Michael. But it's just weird. Like, what if Dragonair like maybe had like a color change or like maybe grew some arms first? That would be, I think, appropriate. That would be like a logical jump between from one to another. Oh crap! I'm running 32 megabits through through the garage wall. That's pretty good. I like the fan theory that Dragonite and Gyarados were swapped somehow in the evolution charts for Magikarp and Dratini. Um, in, well, you know what? That would no, because Dratini and Dragonair, they still have their very soft eyes, those sort of roundish eyes, and it makes sense that Magikarp would turn into like a big sky dragon, just from the mythology point of view. Uh, uh, Again, it would I would maybe just change the color of Dragonair to like that of like a little bit of a pink, because the legend of the carp turning into a dragon totally makes sense from the Japanese point of view. So it's just like, oh, okay, yeah, that's what happens. The carp turns into a dragon. And I would say Dragonite, I would say, is more of like a fairy tale kind of dragon. So, in fact, did they do that? Did they make him a? Did they make them a dragon type? I mean, a fairy type? Like after the fact? I thought that might have been something that they did. Here, we gotta look this up now. Is Dragonite good? A pseudo-legendary? A special attacker? Better than Salamenus? Okay, is Dragonite fairy type? Okay, cool. They even like, it's a dragon / flying currently. What Pokemon is dragon / fairy? That would be Togekiss. No, this is CBR. This is bullshit. What fairy type should be dragon? Go to hell, CBR. That's just the bad CR. Okay, Bulbapedia, which is beyond repute, says that, yeah, it's a dragon / flying. Poke index color is brown? I don't even know what that means. Okay, anyway. They did a lot of retooling and swapping. Like, Blastoise was not supposed to be a turtle. Or a starter evolution. So wait, Blastoise was not supposed to be a turtle? Well, then what was he supposed to be? Oh, well, that's where he ended. He's a turtle. He's a giant turtle. Not tortoise. Tortoises don't swim. Don't look at a desert tortoise and then be like, oh, okay, they can swim. A hippo. Okay, I could see that. I could totally see that. What with his kind of face and his but they ended up making a hippo Pokemon, but it's also like a ground fire combination, or like ground and earth. Or is it mud? Am I thinking of like a mud Pokemon? I might be thinking of a mud Pokemon. Drop my pen. Nope. Wrong thing. My argument that it makes more sense for Magikarp. No, not to be. No, it totally makes sense for Magikarp to evolve into Gyarados. It does. I'm not disparaging that. It does make sense. There's a real Well, evolution, that's more like a pirate map sea monster. Which is why War Turtle has all those fins and gills. Oh, cool. You mean like those old-fashioned ones with like the fangs that like stick out of the water on the maps, and they just like they're like ah. Let's see. What was I gonna say? There's something. I was looking through this and I was like, huh. I totally lost it. I totally lost the idea. Ain't that a kicker? Yeah, I could totally see that sort of like, oh, I know. You're thinking of the dragon lion, or the lion turtle from from Avatar, that sort of thing, where it's got the weird fins and everything. But imagine that, imagine the hair made out of water. That would be pretty cool. But I like the pumps. I like the the things coming out of its back, which that's one thing I argue for. It's like, I guess Charizard's always been fire slash flying. What was it? Bulbous Venusaur was always poison slash plant. Uh, I wanted them to reclassify after they made Steel. I wanted them to reclassify Blastoise as water slash steel, because he's got the pipes coming out of his body, unless they're like weird bone pipes, but they're gray, so like what steel type moves would Blastoise have though? Like what could he like? Iron Tail? He's got such a short little stubby thing. Um, I'm trying to think. Like, what's a good iron move? Or steel? Pardon me, steel. Like Magnemite's a steel electric now. When they after they first introduced steel. I don't know. Let's see. Lots of steel type buffs. Make him a tank with a high power, low, slow rate of move. Okay. Here, you know what? Shoot. Let's look that up. Let's build a steel type Blastoise while we're here. Let's see. Pokemon steel type moves. Poke. Steel. Hey, no. Pokemon. Steel. Moves. Now, steel is weak to fire, I imagine. What with the whole... Okay. Let me move this out of the way so I can look at you guys. Iron defense. Okay, yeah, that's perfectly right here. Iron head. Okay, that's like skull butt. But that would be like... is a damage dealing steel type move introduced in Generation IV, which I guess is 4. What does it do? Inflicts damage and has 30% chance of causing target to flinch. All right. So it is kind of like a headbutt for a steel pipe. King's Shield. What the hell's this? Oh, it's the sword thing. It's the sword Pokemon. And that's what he does. It's his signature move, which, let him have it. Magnet Bomb, no. Make it rain is a steel move? Introduced, it is the signature move of someone. Okay, so I guess I don't want to steal signature moves. Metal Burst. What's Metal Burst do? Damage is steel type move, but what does it look like? What does it do? Metal Burst returns 1.5 times the damage dealt by the foe's last attack. Unlike Counter and Mirror Coat, does not require specificity, physical or okay. I'm kind of digging Iron Defense. I think that should be 1. Steel Beam, of course. Damage dealing steel move. Okay, it is a TM, of course. Inflicts damage. Yeah, but describe it. What is it? Is it an actual like laser beam or? The user fires a beam of steel that is collected from its entire body, and also okay, steel beam. That would be perfect. Like swing around like water and steel. Spin out, whatever the hell that is. That would be cool. Oh yeah, this is it. Just imagine a big rolling Blastoise coming at you. Okay, that's a good one. Inflicting damage to it also harshly lowers the user's special speed stat. Okay, I'm digging this. Doom Desired, no. Flash Cannon? Okay, I think I want to trade in... yeah, I want to trade in Steel Beam for Flash Cannon. I think that would be pretty good. Steel Roller, that's a Heavy Slam. Okay, that's a good one. King's Shield is a signature move, and I don't want to take any signature moves. Corkscrew Clash? Oh, that's a good one too. That's just like the Steel Roller, except it's just like a corkscrew. Now imagine a Blastoise coming at you with his pipe sticking out and he's like spinning around. Ugh. I'm getting hyped for Pokemon again. Blastoise was my first Pokemon. And then I beat the game with the Charizard. But I remember like really digging into Blastoise. Like I was gonna say, I got into Pokemon because it was the only thing on Oh, oddly enough, Grandma. Grandma would pick me up after school. And then I'd have to, like, spend an hour before heading off to a, like, practice. And I would go to her office. She was a secretary or a doctor. Not a secretary, a bookkeeper. She was like the head bookkeeper. And I would just sit in the... I would sit back in the lunchroom or like the break room. And I would just like watch TV and I would watch Pokemon. And that was one episode, Squirtle Attack Force or whatever it was called. I was like, oh, these little turtles, they're pretty badass. Anchor Shot, which would be perfect for a water steel type. Just imagine a Blastoise shoot out an Anchor Chang out of one of his cannons like a harpoon. That would be cool. Now, is that, again, I've closed the window. Is that a signature, though? Again, they're really, really, really missing out by not making Blastoise a steel type. But then again, would that make him too powerful? Because I think plant and poison is a bit redundant for Venusaur because like lots of plant types have poison attacks. Like what Pokemon is just a pure plant type without having like the poison ability? And then Charizard's a flying slash. Like that's the one unique one, I think. You give it to that. It grows wings. It knows like wing attack now, or like seismic toss and all that stuff. Would a steel type Blastoise be too powerful? And also, would his steel type make him vulnerable to fire? Is steel vulnerable to fire? Okay, I gotta look that up now. Pokemon. Steel weaknesses. I think if I remember correctly from the Pokemon cards, steel is definitely weak to fire. But is it weak to ice too? 3 primary weaknesses, which comes from the moveset Fire, Fighting, and Ground types. Fighting? Why would Steel be strong against... weak against Fighting? Oh god, this chart is a nightmare. This chart is a holy nightmare. Would make electric moves 4 times as effective against it. So it would be a major handicap in some matches. Okay. Yeah. Alright. Wait, electric? It didn't say steel was weak against electric. Electric moves? What moves types are fire, ground are super effective against steel? Okay, and then you have water, electric, ghost, and dark moves also work against steel. Okay, see, steel seems to be like have a huge, just like kind of suck. I like the idea of it, but it kind of has a lot of weaknesses. Why steel though? Why electricity? Because steel and electricity should just, like be peanut butter and jelly. Like metal conducts electricity. It's not like rock where it stops it, or water. Which if you're like... Water conducts electricity too, but if you're like in it, you'll get electrocuted. Like a steel Pokemon should just be like, okay. That's electricity, all right. Like lightning rods aren't weak to electricity. They're designed for it. Hold on, let's see. Ah, so it seems weird to me. I didn't have lunch today. I just went straight into hooking up the internet. Had a cup of coffee, had my walk, which I've been walking every day. Twice a day, actually. If it's not raining or whatever. Getting a little peckish. But for what? I do not know. Its only weakness is electricity, ground, and fighting. I hate Crispy Weaver. They're already water steel starter introduced in Gen 4. Really? Okay, cool. Well, I'm just saying, I think Blastoise should just be reclassified as a steel type. I think that would just be cool. Because it's got big metal bars coming out of its back. Oh, what if it had Wolverine claws? What if it had metal, a metal claw attack? Hasn't the whole series of Pokemon creatures just neared 1,000 at this point? Has it? I know they don't include all older Pokemon. There's actually a roster now where certain Pokemons get cut. Which kind of sucks. I heard Sunkern was the weakest Pokemon. Which is fine. I don't think I've ever used a Sunkern, ever. Get away. I'm gonna get rid of this. How many have been from the 90s to now? I don't know. Should water actually be super effective against steel because of rust? Kinda, I guess. But by the same, yeah, I guess. But by the same logic, like boats are also made out of steel. We use steel for a lot of shit, you know. Yeah, I would maybe buy that. Mhm. Hey, thanks, Just. I'm kind of running out of things to talk about, though. Now I'm just kind of sitting here looking at looking at my other project. And then after this, I think I'll post the Princess Melanie in her fighting outfit. Oh God, I gotta actually post that on Twitter. Again, I was so distraught with my internet going out. I stopped posting stuff. Hey, Rocket Lamp. How's it going? It actually would be awesome if they introduce a mechanic where certain types of matchups would affect a Pokemon's other stats, like electric moves get an accuracy boost when they use steel types because they can duck and draw. Like, yeah, okay, I like that. I was gonna say, this is what Yu-Gi-Oh is all about. Is like they used to have it like with the Duelist Kingdom. You'd go to like the forest, and your bug types would get like a power boost. Okay, back here and just hanging around trying to deal with reflux stuff. Oh no, you got that reflux? My grandma's got that, and my uncle, and my mom used to, but then she didn't have it anymore. And I'm probably going to get it down the line sometime. We're talking about acid reflux, right? Not. What game do I want to play tonight now that I got my streaming back? I think I want to... I got Hi-Fi Rush, which I'm pretty excited about. And I've also got to get Pizza Tower. Although I don't know. I don't know. I still don't know what kind of game it is. Oh, onions. Oh, I love onions. Sorry. Wait, are they fresh onions that you decided to eat again, or are they bad onions that you've had for a month that you've decided to eat? Ah, yeah. Yeah, I ate... Oh, okay, takeout. Right. I bought a box of donuts. Grandma went to we were going to the store doing all our shopping on a Saturday, no less. Ugh. Um, the people. Um, and she was just like, "Oh, let's just get a box of donuts." And I had like three donuts for like the first time in forever. And I kind of felt like crap afterwards. Now you see, onions don't bother me. Nor does chili and like actual chili peppers and pepperoncinis and all that stuff. I guess that's just a side effect of living in Phoenix and having like access to like really good Mexican food. Or even what people think is really good Mexican food, because they will like spike that shit. Okay. The only thing I can really talk about now about the drawing is that I used a really saturated version of blue this time while I was shading. Usually I like to stay towards like the neutrals, like the more neutral grays. Like they'll have a hint of blue or a hint of red, stuff like that. But this time I was just like, screw it. I'm just gonna make it like really a really saturated blue shade. Actually, it's green now. I'll change it in a little bit. There we go. Um, and it turned out it looked fine. It looked pretty good. It was just like, okay. Kind of really made it pop, and I like that. So I'm gonna play with darker hues of shading layers. Speed-based point counting, Metrovania-like platformer for the most part is Pizza Tower. Ugh. Yeah, I was just like, oh, I'll just give this a shot, and it really did make it pop a lot. It was a little... it took me a little bit of getting used to, but I like it. I'm gonna have to play with it a little more, and it seemed very appropriate because I know that a lot of anime uses this sort of style of again, yes, desaturated, but it's sort of appropriate here. Yeah, where am I? Section. Yes, indeed, Booba. Are you asking me or Drake? Because I've been okay. I went on this long rant at the beginning of the stream about how my internet went out, or it didn't go out. It was the weirdest thing. The download speed was fantastic. No complaints there. The upload speed was abysmal, which means I couldn't do this streaming stuff. But yeah, I took care of it. Went up to Cox. Traded in our old ancient modem for a new one, and yeah, price shouldn't go up for another 3 years, and then even then, it'll be like $5. And now I've got 3 times the internet speed. So that worked out great. I've been having issues for a while. It was probably the modem. The modem was just probably getting old and bad. And it was hot to the touch, constantly. I'm gonna have to go inside and feel around with this new one, but it seems to be running pretty good. And it tells me whenever I downloaded an app, and it tells me every time that a new someone pops onto the account. I've signed in, I signed in Grandma's phone, I signed in my phone. I even turned on this computer, and it said, "Oh, someone's using your internet." Oh, a Little Bit Conversation by Elvis was in Shazam 2. Ah, it was a 12-year-old modem, Rocket. It was a 12-year-old modem. The guy looked at it like Minute Man would have looked at an actual fossil. And I was lucky enough to have gotten the manager. He was just sitting there. I walked in. It was pretty dead. One other guy was getting his stuff sorted out. And he looks at it and he says, "Come with me." And I was just not sinister or anything. He just waves me over to his own little private section. I could tell he'd been working there for a while because he had Transformer stickers on his he had a Transformer sticker on his register of all things. And it's okay, you must I was in pretty good hands, because if the guy was there long enough, and if his position is secure enough that he can just put stickers on the freaking equipment, then I know he was doing pretty good. They won't let you do any of that. I remember working for Best Buy, and we were like, "Hey, can we put these I don't know, stickers that were not even they were some sort of promotion." Didn't move them. And then some guy asked to put stickers on the thing, and then the manager's like, no, you're not going to be here next year, you kids. So don't try to actually make yourself at home. But he had a Transformer sticker on his where the little receipt comes out. He had Steelers. He had a can of I don't know, Monster energy drink sitting around, and his own it was like a little office that he had right there, in a Steelers helmet. And I look back at all the other guys, the other specialists, and they didn't have anything. Nothing. Their desks were pristine and just So yeah, I guess that's my advice. If you're ever going to need tech service, go to the one find the guy who's wait for the guy with the register that's all decorated to like wait for him to like not be busy and then swoop in on him because that's the guy that's going to take care of you. He was like, your grandmother's been I'm on the service too because now I pay half of it. She put me on it, but like he was like, you guys had this account for like 27 years and you've barely like used anything to, you barely asked for any upgrades. So yeah, just take this nice modem and then, you know, do what you want with it. The only downside is that I've lost, which I didn't lose. I had a router that I paid for, and I maybe paid like about $60 for it because it was like the really nice one. And I got that maybe like 2 or 3 years ago. And I think, I lost that router. But no, I'll just totally, if mom doesn't need it or my cousin doesn't need it, then I'll just donate it or keep it, you know. Well, me neither, but I just realized that, oh God, in a world where they try to make everything so, like, so sanitized, like the one guy who can, like, throw a sticker on his equipment, on his station, must be, like, the guy that you ask for. Oh. Where are we in terms of... I know we're getting close to the end. This is the end, my friend. Oh, we got 5 more minutes left, I think. I reckon. Anyway, it's weird that she's like in a like form-fitting bodysuit with a cape, no less. Why does she have a cape? I just realized that. Like, Blaine was like a scientist. Giovanni was like a businessman. Um, Agatha was just like an old lady with a cane. Brock was a dude. He was actually like a stay-at-home dad who just like went to the gym. Like Misty and her sisters were like mermaids, so that's fine. Or they like owned a pool. So like whatever, if you're like running around in a swimsuit, why not? Who else am I missing? Erica was like she owned a garden and her outfit reflected that. Yeah, she's just like in a cape and just like, yeah. Maybe. Since I'm here, I kind of want to ask you for any tips on imitating art style. Since long history of that, any stuff you really imitate. Like again, it's and this will also help with just learning how to draw, learn how to break down shapes. If you can learn like where shapes are and also in relation to each other, like if eyeballs do they rest on like the lower half of a face, the upper half of a face. Just learning how to break down the figure. And if you need to, go ahead and trace over it. Not trace as in reproduce the drawing, like actually trace where like the lower body is in proportion to the upper body, how long the legs are, like actually figure out like where it all lands. Did she ever use a Salamenis? Because she's dressed like a Salamenis. I don't know. She's got a Dragonite. Her Dragonite has been featured many times in several episodes. Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. She totally does. She does have like dragon scales. And I guess the cape is just like the whole like I don't know fairy tale thing. For like if you got a cape, you're with dragons. So yeah, that's like my for imitating artwork, you gotta learn how to actually break down the different characters. And by the way, that'll get you a job with like anybody. If you can figure out how to do that, then you can maybe be a storyboard artist for like a bunch of people. Because you can just walk in and be like, okay, show me a character. Show me a character model. Oh, look at character models. Just like look at all the character models you can find. Then that'll show you how other people go about breaking down a character. Because that's literally what character models are. They're just meant to actually teach your staff what to do, what are the rules for this design, and how to adhere to them. I think there's a website just dedicated to posting like character models. And they'll give you like the head length and the leg length and all that stuff. And if you can learn how to break down other people's drawings in the same way, then yeah, that'll help you imitate other people's artwork, even when they're not showing you a character sheet. Gotta shade those knuckles. Why are you doing this, Takeshi? Okay, and we do the little bit of shading on the eyeballs, and that where it looks like we're coming up to maybe like the last 10 seconds of the video. I wonder what'll happen. Will it go to the first one? It shouldn't do that. It should just freeze, right? Yep, and that's her. Yep, okay, it just kind of froze. Okay, then. Oh, that was good. That was good. That stream was building up for like maybe about 4 days of just like, oh god, got to do something. Yeah, maybe I'll draw more Pokemon girls. Who knows? But until then, yeah, I never know how to end these things other than telling you thank you all for joining me, and we'll see you next time for another Artcast. Yeah, I've got other things. I've got a back catalog of different videos and stuff. What we're gonna do tonight, I don't know. My voice is getting a little hoarse, but I think we might stream some stuff over on the Princess Melanie channel. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, take care, and yeah, see you next time. Bye.